Hey, what's going on, friends and DGens? Glad to be back. Just going to do a quick stream this evening, talk about a few things going on in the market, take a look at a few other activities, and some opportunities and some tools and toys that I use to take a look at some different key opportunities in the crypto space. Get a little bit of a slap back. Give me a second here, just fixing my audio. And all right, let's get down to it. So, appreciate everyone hopping on. Uh, Let me share my screen out and we'll get rocking. So obviously we are in a bull market. Things are starting to get really interesting, really colorful. And as we are navigating our way through this space, one of the things we always got to keep our eye on is the Bitcoin cycle. So, to no surprise, we are coming up on the halving, estimated 67 odd days away from it and a little bit of change. We can see this stuff is cruising right along. Numbers go up. Last I looked before I hopped on stream, I think we were sitting around 47, 48K. So current price of Bitcoin, based on the chart I'm all eyeballing, is about 48K right now. We'll see if this trend continues on this upward trajectory or if we've got something else in the works. Potentially, I was hoping for a little bit of a dip. I'm not going to necessarily complain because my bags are packed on that front. But if not, then up we go. More gains to be had all around. Sounds like a great time. All right. Next one we got up today is relative to Bitcoin. So the reason we're all here is many of us are trying to escape the grind and escape some of our daytime hustles. Well, right now the US is kind of taking a giant L. You can see our published national debt is 34 trillion and just screaming, climbing, increasing at an unbelievable rate. Here's the scary, sketchy factor. If you look at the actual total aspect of debt in terms of unfunded liabilities and unfunded promises and the like, that number is closer to 165 trillion or higher. That's just a huge L. So to that end, I think we're all here to try to make some gains in the crypto space. A few other news articles we got going on this week. So for anyone who was in that Celsius solution with Mashinsky, I happened to have a little bit of tokens on there when they went under. Thankfully, guys like Charlie Miguel and the crypto mindset courses, they taught, hey, only chase yield on a minority of your position. So I'm glad I've really minimized that damage on that front. But Celsius has been going through and starting their distributions over the last week. I did get a notification last night that I had some crypto eligible to withdraw. The downside is basically the way the dollarization of the asset worked out was they didn't return to you your core units. They returned to you some estimated dollar equivalents. However, what they did was you can take a look at your ETH in Celsius or BTC equivalent in Celsius at time of bankruptcy, how they did the valuation. You got a $57.9 recovery rate. Anyway, long story short here is if you basically had 10 ETH in there, you got fucked and got some element of 1.2 BTC and like 1.2 ETH and 0.07 BTC. So major haircuts on that front by way of underlying digital asset. Dollar equivalent, could have been a lot worse, could have been a lot better too. Mashinsky, the lawyers, the creditors, UCC, they really did a subpar job. They just kept milking this thing the whole way through. Yeah, lawyers got rich on this one, guys. So sad to say on that one. Hey, I see a wild boogie appears. What's good, my brother? Thanks for the support. And yeah, anyone who is in Celsius, you got hit with a little bit of a haircut on that front. And hopefully, if you were impacted by that, go check your email address. Generally, I can't speak for outside the US side of things, but for the US, they're doing their distributions through Venmo and PayPal. So you may need to complete some level of KYC to be able to withdraw that asset. Keep your eyes peeled on those distribution notifications. Also, as part of that bankruptcy deal and proceeding, if you were impacted by that, you also get some level of future stocks in the new company. Hopefully that all works out. For those of us impacted, we might just liquidate that stuff right quick. All right, let's see what else we got going on here today. So I've been talking a little bit about this on some of the different streams with folks like the DGen Roundtable, as well as with Boogie. And we've got that Ethereum upgrade right around the corner. So they recently put this Dencun upgrade on their final test net. That is Whole Sky. That includes EIP 4844. They've been flying through this stuff. It's supposed to give us a major boost in overall performance for L2s, as well as bringing the feature known as Proto Dank sharding to improved overall performance on the network. That currently is slated for a March go live on mainnet. So I think the current estimation in here was, I thought I saw it was like mid March. Let me see if I can quickly pull up that date elsewhere. All right. Last I saw it was mid March. It might be in this article. Certainly, I posted up on Twitter for anyone who's following me over there. Uh, so yeah, pretty exciting stuff on the Ethereum network. Hopefully, it'll bring some L2 performance increases. Hopefully, it'll reduce the level to which we get violated on gas fees this go around. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Again, supposed to hit mainnet circa next month. Now, I know the latest hotness and a lot of hype has been surrounding this game. Shrapnel is out there. If you got in on early access and the like, there's some element of competition going on, and we'll get to that in a second. But you can see WorldCoin, which is that one where you go to the orb and you scan your iris and all this stuff gets encoded on chain. And I'm a little sketched out by that. I wouldn't necessarily permanently encode my biometrics on the blockchain at this stage of the game. I'm not convinced it's totally kosher, totally safe on that front. But some of the solutions out there will be using this for proof of identity. So in this case, Community Gaming, their esports tournament platform, they're integrating World ID to weed out cheaters. Now, with some of these different esports competitions, you can be playing potentially from anywhere in the world. I get it. Cheating is definitely a concern, especially as more dollars start flooding into this space. All of a sudden people cheat to play and win on a free game in PvP. Imagine what's going to happen as it's $100,000, $1 million, multi-million dollar tournaments. Best believe people are going to be cheating and looking for that edge. So the way WorldCoin is structured, it uses an iris scan, pardon me, an iris scan. And the notion here is proof of identity while maintaining a certain level of anonymity. I'm not personally convinced on it. Anytime we're talking really a Gen 1 tech, I'm a little skeptical. I don't personally buy a vehicle if it's the first model year that vehicle comes out. I could not see myself embracing this form of authentication and proof of identity. Hey, maybe it works great, maybe not. I don't want to be the first one to try it. No hate on the World ID solution. It's just not for me. But one of the things they did mention down here, way buried down the article, is the CEO stated that the level of authentication they're going to use and confirmation does not require the orb, and they're somehow going to be able to verify themselves through a mobile device. I'm going to have to poke around some more and figure out how this ultimately works out. But kind of neat to see aspects of the tech being pushed forward in the sense that I want the ability to prove I am who I say I am without necessarily giving up my identity. Again, I just don't know if an iris scan solution is the way I'd be going on that one. But exciting stuff ongoing for the gaming sector, as well as the intersection of gaming and blockchain solutions. As I mentioned a moment ago, Shrapnel, they have got some competitions going on this week. It's 100,000 in crypto for playing, and you have the ability to play the game. Shout out to my buddy Zenith from the DGen Roundtable. He has been streaming over on Twitch. I'll throw his link in chat here in just a second. You can go watch him play and stream Shrapnel. I might try to get in on that action and see what we got going on that front. So post Z's link to his Twitch on that side of things. You can watch him play the game over there. It's looking like it's got some pretty good shooter mechanics. It is an extraction-based shooter. Anyway, it's available in the Epic Game Store. And if you have one of the extraction pack access keys, you have the ability to get in early and potentially win yourself some cash. So you can tune in to Z over at Hexaco Space Force on Twitch and watch him stream and try to win that money. And this is what's looking like will be one of the AAA shooters forthcoming for this space. It'll be pretty neat as this continues to develop and get more mass appeal and get full scale release on this front. And we can watch some money come in watch the Twitch audience pick it up. I'm really excited for the crypto gaming space. I'm the right age to have grown up with aspects like I remember Atari, Commodore 64, Sega, NES, all those wonderful time killers and time sinks in the grand scheme of things. Oh, to be young again. But this will bring a whole new group of people into the crypto space and help pump our bags. Now, for those of you maybe a little bit unfamiliar with Shrapnel, I don't necessarily want to get into like a super copyright strike or anything like that. I would like to think they appreciate a little free press here, but you can just see some of the gameplay here. Looks phenomenal. Looks like a slick shooter. Certainly for folks who like to play something and blow off some stress there, as well as talk some trash and land those boom headshots. It looks like a pretty cool, entertaining, fun game. I would anticipate I'll be streaming that one as that one gets a full scale release. All right. Other news coming up on this front. We got some major token unlocks coming up. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today was some of the tools and ways I might look at some things as we've been navigating, just talking about macro economics, developing industries, and like. So in this particular case, Decrypt is one of my favorite sites and news aggregators for the crypto space. We got some major token unlocks coming up for Aptos, Sandbox, Avalanche, and a few others. So in this particular case, I think the most noticeable one that jumped out at me was Sand. And it's looking like my understanding is going to be about a 10% of Sand's total supply is going to be issued, 9.19 if we're really getting counting. But in that particular case, that's potentially a significant supply shock coming in. So if anyone's a big believer in Sand, might be an okay opportunity to snap some stuff up. We're going to have to weigh that against the overall individual token performance as well as the broader market. We got some other stuff here and some tidbits relative to Ape token. We got some stuff coming from Avalanche, which will only be like 2.6%. And then Optimism's got 2.52. So, okay, token unlocks. We talked a little bit that can give us a little bit of a supply shock and potentially drive some price down because all of a sudden there's a bunch more token available on the market. And if you've been paying attention to things like the US dollar, I think we can all agree purchasing power has eroded over time. So if I want to further investigate these notions of token unlocks, what might be some of the other sites I might hit up or other sites I might visit? Well, there's a few different ones. Shout out to Charlie from the Crypto Mindset team showing me this one some time back. The Token Unlocks app. You can kind of just jump right over here. It's token.unlocks.app. And you would just punch in what you're looking for. In this case, I'm already queued up on Sand, but you could punch in the different tokens you're looking for. I will say this, they haven't had every single token I have been seeking, but it does do a solid job. And I'll show one other tool that I use to cross-check that as well. So in this particular case, you can sit here and kind of scroll around and say, okay, it's roughly 75% of all tokens available are currently unlocked. We know we got a bunch more coming, and you can see over here on the right-hand side, they're calling out, hey, you got 9.19% coming in imminently over the next few weeks. And like, so as I scroll down here, I might eyeball some other stuff. You can see stuff like, okay, these are the allocations of the token for, it's placed over here on Binance. There's some that go to the seed sale. They've got elements that went back to the team, strategic sale, and look at some of these different graphs to chart that out. Okay. That's one data point, right? Like that's one set surrounding Sand. I might want to slice into this from another angle and say, okay, token unlocks app, cool, early indicator. What else we got? My other favorite one that I like to jump over to and take a look at token unlocks over time is actually CryptoRank.io. Again, that's CryptoRank.io. I will post up the assorted links and like in show notes when I'm done with the stream. So again, they're posting up some information on the circulating supply. You can sit there and say, okay, circulating supply 74.6, pretty similar. Next unlock in 4 days, right there, crystal clear, February 13th. They're calling it about 6% of max supply. So maybe it's 9% of existing supply, 6% of max supply. Since there's a little bit of a difference in those two numbers between the two sites, I like to, if I could see it on one site, I like to confirm on a secondary data source just to try to see if I can get everything to line up. Also, some of the other cool features about CryptoRank is you can jump down here and take a look at price analysis over time. And they'll give you a little bit of a heat map. So you can see historically how the token has performed in a given month. This is all without looking at a chart, right? You're just looking at a quick heat map over here. And of course, they got some information on markets and general news articles. For me, when I visit CryptoRank, the number one thing I'm looking at is I'm generally seeking unlock information or confirmation on this front. All right. So we've talked a little bit about token unlocks and some different gaming elements. Out of curiosity, I might take a look at how are the gaming tokens doing as a whole. So we can jump over to Coin Market Cap, drill down into some different categories. In this particular case, I just jumped right over to the gaming category. And we can see the total market cap is about 19.7 bill, according to this. So in this case, they're saying it's up 4.33%. We got a decent increase in trading volume, up 28.15%. We can see a lot of things are in the green. We also can see Bitcoin's in the green, which will tend to drag the market up with it. All right. Again, looking at one data point here. So we're seeing crypto space is growing. We've seen in this particular case, we got a new hot game that is getting some hype in the form of Shrapnel for blockchain gaming and NFTs. Let's take a look at another data source. So I might then in turn jump over to CoinGecko. And once I'm on CoinGecko, I can see that, hey, okay, they're calling 22.5 on the market cap on this one, about 1.3 on 24-hour trading volume. Regardless, in both cases, they both align to the fact that numbers going up over the last 24 hours or so. So all in all, looks like aside from the market going up, gaming is benefiting from it. I mean, shit, even Axie Infinity showing in the green. It's been a minute for them or two. All right, so we've taken a look at, again, some token unlocks scenarios and some market cap by sector type scenarios. And if you wanted to, you could even drill down into specific tokens to get something like a 1 hour, 24 hour, 7-day delta on those. All right, what are some of the other potential solutions I might use as I'm poking around tokens and chains? Well, I know we are all big fans of Pulse Chain and Hex and the like over here. One of my other favorite ones is DeFi Llama. So I like to hop over here and take a look at things like total value of the chains on this front. So there's all sorts of other chains like Tron, I don't follow. Maybe I'll look into it someday. It's not for me. Binance, not for me. Not that they don't have great tech and products over there. They also got a lot of scams and shit. Watch out for them. Then they got, okay, Arbitrum, Solana, Polygon, and a whole boatload of other chains. Given my personal position in Pulse Chain, I'm just interested in that. I'd click in there. And let's take a look at what we got going on. All right. So we can see we've got a TVL was all-time high at close to around 500 million locked. Saw a significant dip, and that may be related to any number of factors. It could be capital flight or it could be valuation of underlying tokens. And then, oh shit, look at this run up. And we've been pretty solidly above the 400 million mark since roughly that period of time. So looks like sometime mid-January-ish, we had this great run up. Now we can also see in here, just for quick aggregation of information, we can see information like, okay, PulseX is over here, 269 million locked on that exchange. And then here are some of the deltas over time. So 1 month change of 84%. Well, I see TVL is over here out of curiosity on Pulse Chain. What about volume? Show me volume of transactions over time. So you can see, oh shit, there was a ton of activity here. TVL drops a lot. And then as we get into 24, volume starts to ramp up a little bit. And then all of a sudden, TVL jumps up a lot. Now that to me looks a little interesting in the sense that volume out or volume down on the downward trend doesn't quite align to what I'm seeing on the upward trend. I would in turn poke around more in some other sites and sources to take a look at what else maybe Pulse Chain has going on. Let's also see index some price activity against it as well. Okay, so logically, somewhat predictably, we can start to see some underlying visual correlations in the data. Price performance versus volume. You can see price volume on the exit versus price staying fairly stable overall. And we see this little hump here in October leading into November. And in turn, we can see the TVL impacts on that as well. Volume picks up, price goes up, TVL starts to jump up. Now, what's interesting is TVL jumped up a whole heck of a lot more relative to the other activity. I would start to question why that is. So along those lines, though, as I'm looking at some of these different solutions, I sit there and I say, okay, TVL versus volume, 28 mil on the 24-hour volume, 138 versus 460 mil locked. I personally like how that ratio looks to me. Plus, I have a position. I'm a big believer in the Richard Hart ecosystem and Richard Hart solutions. So I was talking about this the other night on the DGen Roundtable stream, and thanks for those guys for having me as a guest on there. One of the things I was talking about was I fancy myself more of an investor, not a trader. So I personally, I have a daytime job. I'm not financially independent yet, soon, but not yet. So until then, though, with all the other activities and responsibilities I have, one of the things I try to do is figure out a better way to manage my time and manage the information I surround myself with. It's real easy for us to get lost, I think, in listening to indefinite podcasts and just endlessly researching things. At some point in time, you got to make a decision. So let's say I'm convinced I want to invest in certain tokens in the Richard Hart ecosystem. What's another thing I might do on that front? Well, I'm going to hop over to something like Dex Screener and set up some alerts to give me a heads up on when certain things are happening. So let's say, for example, I like the incentive token on Dex Screener or in the Richard Hart ecosystem, and I want to use Dex Screener to help me find some things. So in this particular case, I've got Dex Screener cracked open, and I'm looking at the incentive to wrap Pulse LP on Dex Screener. And in this particular case, this is just the token I'm looking at. We could just easily look at a different DeFi token. I really use the following alert mechanism to set things up for anything DeFi that I'm particularly interested or needing to track. Personally, I don't give a shit if it's pretty normal operating procedure. When I say normal, based on my career in diagnostics and informatics, normal is like 95% of people or 95% of, in this case, diagnostic tests tend to fall in the band of what we would call a normal range. So the vast majority of test values from a normal population fall in this band. And so from there, you get into things like, okay, is it normal, but is it high? Is it normal in kind of in the normal range, but low? Or is it critically high, critically low, which may indicate really sick patients and bad things are about to happen health wise? Okay, well, how can I apply that to crypto? Well, if it's normal, okay, it might be cool to look at normal. Do I really want to spend a whole bunch of time looking at normal? No. I might look at it periodically just to stay sharp, stay fresh. What I'm really interested in is it trending normally, abnormally good, or is it trending abnormally bad? And so in that particular case, once I kind of have some semblance of that, what I will actually do is go over and set up some alerts. And so if you didn't know this out there and you're a Telegram user, you can actually go to Dex Screener and let me just hop back over here. You can actually set up price alerts in Dex Screener. So this is in their FAQ section. If you just scroll down a little bit, you can just go down here, Dex Screener price alerts for the bot. In this case, it's a Telegram bot. So you'll click that and it will actually bring you over to Dex Screener and you get the bot started right here. So I'm going to do a quick run through in this particular example. So I click on menu and it gives me a few different options. I'm going to start. So the bot throws me a message back. Hey, here's what I can do. It can create a price alert, list my price alerts, delete the price alert, or show this message. It's really easy to use once you just kind of do one quick run through. In this particular case, I want a price alert. Again, my concepts maybe I either want to be alerted as something is trending towards really good or trending towards really bad. Your entry points, the tokens you're following, the chains you're on, that's all going to be up to you. Dex Screener thankfully makes it really easy with the Telegram bot. Why do I use the Telegram bot? Well, I have Telegram set up on my mobile phone. It can also hit Telegram for my PC alerts and the like. So here's the big thing. Don't mute the alert in my experience for the Telegram bot. If you go up here and you're used to using Telegram and it's very similar on the phone, you click this, you can sit there and say mute notifications either forever for a period of time or like, I don't like to have this muted. I want it to go off. If you're having it pushed to your mobile, watch for your do not disturb settings. If you got that kind of stuff set up, you want to have basically give this permissions to cut right through it. So, okay, I'm going to create a price alert. So I hit the / click create. It's asking me what pair I want to create a price alert for. All I need to do is actually just take the URL of the pair on Dex Screener. So what I will do on that front is let me kind of hop back over here and get to Dex Screener. And all I'm going to do is just literally take this URL, copy it, go back to my Telegram bot prompt and paste it. Okay, it recognizes the URL from Dex Screener and it says, hey, you can create a pair for incentive token with Wrap Pulse in this particular case. Here's what I really like about it because I've mainly been using this to do a little bit of ratio trading. And I see we got some more friends and degens coming in. Tam Tam, what's good? Boogie, appreciate the support, brother. Willie B. Doggo vibes. Yes, yes. Storm, my German Shepherd. Quick detour on this one. So when I met Storm at the breeder when Storm was 5 weeks, I took him home at 8 weeks. I was asking the breeder, "Hey, why'd you name the dog Storm? You know, is it like, Storm Cloud?" And like at the point in time, he had a really light gray fur, and she's like, "No, Storm, like Stormtrooper." I was like, "Wait a minute, like Nazi stormtroopers?" Anyway, so the name made me laugh, and so that's Storm. All right, so coming back around to Dex Screener and some shit. So you can actually set the alert for a price in US dollar, or it'll take a price in ratio too. So if you wanted to set up the alert, you can just confirm, okay, what's the price in US dollar versus price in Pulse on that front. Let me hop over here. Okay, there's the price in Pulse. There's the price in US dollars. Looks good to me. So let me hop back over to Dex Screener alerts on that one. And let me get the spot rocking. Yes or no? Is that price right? Yes, that is right. Now it's asking me as far as the alerts. Do I want to alert based on price in effectively the US dollar or in Pulse? So in this particular case, let's see here. Oh, I just realized, you know what? I neglected to share the Telegram bot. Helps if you guys can see all that stuff. Let me reshare this so you guys can see the Telegram bot here. All right, now with 100% more Telegram bot. So in this particular case, I'm going to cancel it out. Let me restart it. So here I am working on the Telegram bot. It's asking me, do I want to create the price alert? So yes, I do. All I got to do is take the URL from Dex Screener and throw that on. So I got the URL that I cut and copied and pasted earlier. Let me paste that in right there. So the bot is now saying, hey, it is for the incentive wrap Pulse token on PulseX. It's asked me to confirm the price in US dollars or in Pulse. I know both those are correct. All I got to do is literally respond yes. And now it's asking me, as I had said a moment ago, do I want to alert when the price is in US dollars or is it in a ratio? So if you, for those ratio traders out there, if you're looking to improve some of your ratio trading, and I don't do a whole lot to be fair, because I'm looking for a big enough move. Quick note in the US, all your trades are effectively tax events, not necessarily that you're paying gains or taking losses on them, but fundamentally the event exists. If you are taking some sort of gain or the like, you want to make sure that the trade is worth it when you start factoring the potential tax implications for it. So work with your account if you have one. Me personally, I'm just looking for certain larger trade windows. I'm not going to trade for like 2% or 5% gain. I'm looking for like 30%, 50% gain on my swing trades on that stuff. So I'll set up these different alerts. And again, it'll push back out to my phone. It'll push back to my Telegram on my PC or any other place that I can get to Telegram. Super useful, super convenient on that front. You can set up some different criteria on this front. Alert me when price is, let's say, over. Now it's asking me, do I want to know when the price is over $5? Is that right? Yes or no? Cool. Price alert created. And if I want to see what price alerts I have active right now, I can sit here and do list. And that is my one active price alert right now. So if you're looking to improve some aspects of that, let me get myself off the screen here so you can see more of that bear with me 1 second. You can see right there on the bottom left, that is my particular active price alert. So again, you can use the Telegram bot to set up any LP that is tracked through Dex Screener. You can set up these price alerts, and you can do it in fiat currency, or you can do it on a ratio. So if you got something, in this particular case, I did the incentive Pulse token one. I did it in US dollars, but I could have just as easily set it to Pulse on that front. Again, if you're working through that Solana ecosystem, stuff like on the Ethereum network, take your favorite DEX and the like, so long as it's tracked through Pulse Chain, it's an opportunity for you to improve some of your ratio trading, as well as set up alerts for things are trending awesome, things are trending very badly. I personally don't have the time to sit down and look at all the normally behaving stuff. I want to know about things that are approaching exceptionally good or exceptionally bad, so I can make an informed decision at that point in time. And I see Wild Agent J has appeared. What's going on, amigo? All right, so that's it for my plans and coverage tonight on some of these different activities. We talked a little bit about the Shrapnel game. We talked a little bit about the US debt. Let's see, other fun stuff. EIP 4844. Watch for that one in March. Some L2 performance improvements. And the two other big takeaways I want everyone in the community to walk away with is unlocks on this one. My two favorite sites for unlocks are the token.unlocks.app solution, as well as cryptorank.io. I will cross-check both of those. And that's it. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope everyone has a wonderful Friday night. Oh shit, we got a little bit of hot sauce alpha coming in from Agent J. So he's got a min-max target for 5.2 to 8.3 bucks. Okay, so off the cuff, Jay, I was just like, just quickly eyeballing that chart. No line drawn, whatever. I'll trust you, chart ninjas, all that stuff. I was like approaching $5. I kind of want to know that. So it may take me a minute or 10 to get over to a PC or to get all squared away with my mobile wallet, so I could potentially make some moves on that front. So it's money making season. Use those tools to help you pack your bags. Thanks, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Boogie and I are talking about potentially doing another collab stream this weekend. Stay tuned to our Twitters for that one, and you can catch us in Telegram. It's National Pizza Day here in the US. Go get yourself a slice. Peace.